大家好，我是 Jack， 我要欢迎大家来看看我要介绍的彩色牛肉、猪肉、鸡肉特制水饺。我们包的饺子几乎都是外面买不到的。Today we'll be making 6 different flavors of dumplings. Yes, that's right, 6. Here are all the ingredients we'll be using laid out on the table. And I'll also be talking more about the ingredients as I make each one. First, the dough. And the recipe we're using is very simple. It's just flour, water, oil, and salt. And we're using this machine to help us mix it. Of course, you can mix it by hand in a bowl, but we just wanted to save time and work since we're making so much dough and so many dumplings. After you've mixed the dough, make sure you cover it and let it sit for 30 minutes before you use it. The next flavor that we made is spinach, and you might have to add extra flour because the spinach is very wet. And for the red color, we are using red yeast rice. It's pretty good for a bright red color. It does have salt, so you will have to make the filling less salty. Okay, for a blue color, we used butterfly pea. It's a kind of flour tea, and it's pretty healthy. Look at the color, it's great. And here's some carrots. Look at that, what a beautiful color. Now it's time to roll and cut the dough and prepare some of the other ingredients. So there are 2 ways that you can cut the dough for the wrapping. You can use a cookie cutter like this to cut out the little circles, or you can roll the dough into a long rope and cut off the ends to make it neat, and then cut it into even bits, and then flatten those into wrappers. All right, and now I'm preparing some of the other ingredients that I'll be using to fill the dumplings. The first is cabbage. And once the cabbage is all chopped, you're gonna add some salt to it so that you can get out some of the water from the cabbage so your dumplings are not too soggy. Next, I'm preparing some carrots because I love carrots, and so I'd like to put some in my dumplings. And lastly, we have some wood ear, some black wood ear. While we were rolling out and cutting the other doughs, we found that some of them were too wet and some were a little too dry. So you will have to add flour or add water as needed to adjust the consistency of the dough. All right, here are the finished wrappers, and if you have extra material, make it into myeongada or hand-cut noodles. Okay, on to the filling, and the first that I'm gonna prepare is the traditional cabbage pork. You can see the water has come out of the cabbage. Make sure you drain that. I'm adding some carrots to mine. I know that's not in the traditional recipe. I added some white pepper and garlic salt. And lastly, some white sesame oil. Next flavor I made was sour cabbage pork. Now this is a fermented cabbage that comes from Jingmen, and I added a little bit of fresh cabbage for the texture. Next, I'm making some ginger beef. It has a little bit of cabbage in it too, some white pepper, and just like that, delicious ginger beef. Next is spicy beef, and I'm using this packet of mala spices, but you can use any spice you like. I'm making a pretty simple recipe. It's just beef and black wood ear, but you can add anything you like really, maybe onions or other mushrooms. All right, now the fun part, wrapping the dumplings. We're putting the spicy beef in the red wrappers, the chicken seaweed in the blue wrappers, the ginger beef in the orange carrot wrappers, and first things first, make sure you test the flavor of all the dumplings before you make too many of them. So we made just a few of each kind, and we are boiling one of each to test the flavor. And you wanna cook them until the skin starts to become a little bit translucent and they float to the top of the water. All right, time to do the taste test. I'm so excited to try these. First, I'm trying the chicken seaweed. I've never had a chicken dumpling before. It was surprisingly good. The chicken makes a great combination with the seaweed, actually. Next, I'm trying the curry beef. Oh man, I loved this flavor. It was so good. Next, I'm trying the regular cabbage pork. It was good. Next is the spicy beef. I started with a little bite, and I didn't taste the spice at first, but then it hit me later. And next I'm trying the ginger beef in the orange carrot wrappers. And I have to say, this was my favorite. It was so good. And the last flavor is the sour cabbage pork in the spinach wrappers. First of all, they just look so cool. And it was good, not too sour. You can adjust the recipe to your liking. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it inspires you to make some colorful dumplings of your own. 如果你还没有订阅我们的频道的话，要记得打开小铃铛，订阅我们的频道哦。如果你喜欢我们影片的话，请帮我们按赞加分享哦。好，我再去吃水饺了，拜。